I've analyzed the top 100 companies of the S&P 500. These are the most undervalued stocks in mid-May 2025. Welcome to episode 3 of the Value Verdict, where we are starting things off with Bank of America. The stock is currently trading around $44, while our estimated intrinsic value is $58, indicating it's undervalued by approximately 24%. This intrinsic value is derived from the average of two widely used valuation models, the discounted cash flow or DCF approach and the relative valuation. These are popular techniques for assessing a stock's true worth. As we progress, we will also assign each stock a grade, with A star indicating exceptional bargain and F representing a significantly overvalued stock. Given that Bank of America is currently undervalued by 24%, it earns a solid grade A. The next stock on our radar is Comcast. At the moment, it's priced at $35, and the intrinsic value we have estimated for it is around $62.99. The stock was last at this price around 2021, making the current price an absolute steal. We are estimating it to be undervalued by around 43%, which warrants a grade of A star. Following that, we have Johnson & Johnson. The price is currently around 7% below its intrinsic value, which qualifies it for a grade C. Up next is Citigroup. As of now, the stock stands at $74.81, and its intrinsic value is estimated at $119, making Citigroup undervalued by around 37%, which translates to a grade A. Moving on to ExxonMobil, where the price is currently 14% below its intrinsic value. And before we give this one a grade, if you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that would be amazing. And now that's out of the way, I can tell you ExxonMobil is rated at a grade B. That brings us to the Charles Schwab Corporation, which is below the intrinsic value by around 24% at the moment, which means it has been assigned a grade A. Up next is United Health Group. The current share price is around 59% below the intrinsic value, which earns it a grade A star, making this the second stock that receives an A star today. Another interesting opportunity is Salesforce. The price is currently around its intrinsic value, slightly below it by around 2%, which means it has been assigned a grade C. Adding to our list is Wells Fargo. The price is below the intrinsic value by around 21%, which warrants a grade A. At this point in time, there are many stocks that are undervalued, and you might be wondering which one would it be the best to invest in. And for that, there are a few strategies you can use. One of the strategies being getting into the highest grade stocks, which are the A's and A stars. This way you're getting into the most undervalued stocks. Another strategy you could use is going for a slightly lower grade, the B's and C's, but only if they are on their way up, which increases your chance of seeing returns in a shorter period of time. So the first strategy, going for the higher grades, would mean you get in at a lower price, but you might have to wait longer to see your higher returns. And the second strategy would mean you would get in at a slightly higher price, but your chances of seeing your returns quicker increases. The strategy I personally like to use is coupling this with trades that have been made by key US politicians. I found that by trading alongside key US politicians, I'm able to get the best of both worlds, which means getting in at a low price and seeing returns much quicker than other strategies I've tested. So for this reason, I mostly only invest when key politicians are involved. If you are curious about how I do this and how you can too, I put together a free video on my website explaining how I use this strategy to find the most profitable trades based on publicly available information, and I also go through the returns of this strategy over the past 3 years. The link to this free video is in the description below, so feel free to check it out if you are interested. Coming back to the analysis, which continues with AMD, the price is currently trading at 16% below its intrinsic value, which means AMD qualifies for a grade B. Another one that stands out is Chevron Corporations, the price for which is currently trading at 14% below its intrinsic value, making this another grade B. The next stock on our radar is the Walt Disney Company. At the moment it's priced at $112, which is undervalued by around 14%, which means Disney has also been assigned a grade B. That brings us to Goldman Sachs. As of now, the price stands at $611, which is below the intrinsic value by around 34%, and that justifies a grade A. Adding to our list is AT&T. The stock is undervalued by around 15%, which translates to a grade B. Another interesting stock is Merck & Company. At the moment, it's undervalued by around 38%, which lands it a grade A. Up next, we have Verizon Communications. The stock is currently trading at $43.92, and the intrinsic value we have for it is around $57, which means it's undervalued by around 23%, and that means it has been awarded a grade A. And speaking of A, this is a quick reminder for you to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the video so far. I'll be bringing you videos like this every week, so you can stay up to date with the most undervalued stocks. Moving on to Pepsi, where the price is undervalued by around 18%, which means Pepsi is rated as a grade B. Following that, we have RTX, the price of which is slightly below the intrinsic value by around 12%, which lands it a grade B. Our analysis continues with Adobe, where the price is undervalued by around 10%, which means Adobe hangs on to its grade B, but it has been on its way up over the past few weeks. That brings us to Qualcomm. It is currently undervalued by around 3%, which means it qualifies for a grade C. Up next, we have American Express. The stock is priced at $299, which is 14% below its intrinsic value, making American Express a grade B. Moving on to the Progressive Corporation, which is trading at 7% below its intrinsic value, which results in a grade C. And something else that starts with C is comment. I would love to hear your thoughts around what you'd like to see in upcoming videos, and also which companies you're going to be keeping an eye on in the upcoming week. Feel free to drop a comment if you'd like, and I will look forward to reading those. Another company that stands out is Morgan Stanley. As of now, the stock stands at $132, but the intrinsic value for this stock is $195, meaning it's undervalued by around 32%, which is enough to qualify it as a grade A. Moving on to Thermo Fisher Scientific. The stock is currently undervalued by 19%, which translates to a grade B. Following that, we have Next Era Energy, which is undervalued by around 22%, making it a grade A. Moving on to Pfizer. Pfizer is currently around 16% below its intrinsic value, which means it has been assigned a grade B. Following that, we have ConocoPhillips. The current price is undervalued by around 21%, which means this stock is awarded a grade A. Next, we have Blackstone. We are estimating it to be undervalued by around 10%, meaning it hangs on to its grade B status. Adding to our list is Medtronic. It's trading at a market price of $86, with its intrinsic value being close to $100, meaning it's undervalued by around 13%, and that also translates to a grade B. Following that, we have Micron Technology, which is undervalued by around 12%, landing this stock another grade B. Up next, we have Chubb Limited, which is currently trading at 14% below its intrinsic value, making this a grade B. The second last stock we have is Starbucks, which has just barely made it in as it's slightly below its intrinsic value by less than 1%, which means it's just about a grade C. And lastly, we have Fiserv. We have seen this stock selling off over the past couple of months. It is currently 27% below its intrinsic value, which means it qualifies for a grade A. So that is the final stock for this week. If you enjoyed this video, remember to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing you videos like this every week. Also, if you'd like to learn how to profit like a politician, then the link to this free video is in the description below, so feel free to check it out if you're interested. It's also worth mentioning I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research and your own analysis before you make any investment decisions. That brings us to the end of the video. Let me know which stock was your favorite in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.